I saw her heart race, and I knew she couldn't hide it. I walked into the coffee shop, and she was there. She looked up fast, then froze. Her eyes met mine for a long second. I felt my chest tighten. She blinked, looked away, then glanced back. It was not a quick scan. She held my gaze like she was curious. I ordered my drink, but kept watching her. She tucked her hair behind her ear, then stared again. Her heart must have been pounding. Why else would she look at me like that? She gave me a small smile when I sat down. Her lips trembled a little. It was not the polite smile you give strangers. It was shaky and sweet. I smiled back, and she looked down at her hands. Her fingers tapped the table in a soft rhythm. She tried to hide it, but I noticed. Her cheeks turned pink. I felt my own cheeks warm. She bit her lip and looked up again. Was she as nervous as I felt? What was she thinking in that moment? I reached for the sugar jar, and our hands met. She didn't pull away. Instead, she let her fingers brush mine. My heart skipped a beat. She looked at our hands, then at me. Her smile returned, soft and real. That touch was tiny, but spoke loud. It felt like she wanted to connect. The moment lasted longer than a simple accident. I felt warmth spread through me. She kept her hand near mine, almost touching again. Did she feel that spark too? Or was I just imagining it? She asked my name as if she forgot it. Her voice went higher, softer. It was like she was trying to sound calm, but couldn't. I answered, and she repeated my name slowly, as if tasting it. She laughed at my answer, even though it was simple. I noticed the pitch change every time she spoke to me. It was a subtle sign, but I heard it clear. She leaned closer when she talked. Why did her voice wobble when she said my name? Did she feel the same butterflies I did? I told a silly joke about spilled coffee. She laughed, and it felt real. Her eyes lit up, and her whole face smiled. It wasn't a fake laugh. It was open and happy. I watched her chest rise and fall as she laughed. She looked at me like I made her day. I laughed too, feeling proud. That sound stuck in my head long after. She covered her mouth, then let her laughter out again. Did she laugh like that for everyone? Or was I special in that moment? I counted signs: glance, smile, touch, voice, laugh. 5 small things she couldn't hide. I sat back and watched her from across the table. She looked at me more than once, and each time she blushed. I felt a mix of hope and nerves. What if I was wrong? But each sign added up. I felt a pull toward her. I wanted to know more. I wondered if she felt it too. Was I reading these signs right? Could these little moments mean something real? I left the coffee shop to catch my bus. I turned the corner, and she was there. She looked like she wasn't sure she should follow. She held a bag and bit her lip. I forgot my scarf inside, she said, voice low. She stood close enough to feel her warmth. I walked back with her. Every step felt heavy and light at once. She kept glancing at me, then at the shop. Was she here just for me? I felt my heart beat faster as we walked. We stood by the door. I asked, "Why are you here?" She froze, then blinked. Her cheeks went bright red. "I wanted to see you again," she whispered. Her eyes dropped to her shoes. I could hear her heart in her voice. I smiled and said it was okay. She looked up, surprised. She seemed relieved. She tucked her hair behind her ear again and bit her lip. I asked if she really wanted to be here. She nodded, her eyes shining. Did she mean every word? We walked down the street side by side. I matched my pace to hers. When I slowed, she slowed. When I sped up, she did too. It felt like we moved as one. She glanced at me now and then looked away. We talked about small things, the weather, the bus stop, our favorite coffee. Her hand almost touched mine. Each time it nearly did, I felt spark. She tucked her hair behind her ear again, then let it fall. Was she trying to get closer? She tucked her hair behind her ear and leaned forward. She showed her neck for a moment. It was a small move, but clear. She did not shy away. She kept her head up and met my eyes. I felt a rush. She smiled softly, and her eyes warmed. That gesture told me she was open and trusting. She played with the collar of her shirt, drawing my eyes to her. I felt drawn in. Did she feel safe with me? Did she want me to see her like that? We sat on a bench in the park. I looked at her and asked, "Do you like me?" She bit her lip and looked down. My heart pounded. After a pause, she nodded. "Yes," she said softly. She looked up and met my eyes. Her cheeks were pink. She seemed both brave and shy. I smiled wide. She took a deep breath and leaned forward. She tucked her hair behind her ear again, and I saw the light in her eyes. Had I ever felt this happy? When she said yes, her shoulders relaxed. She let out a breath I hadn't noticed she was holding. She smiled big and her eyes sparkled. She told me she was scared I'd say no. I reached out and held her hand. She squeezed back tight. I felt her pulse in her wrist. She leaned into me. Her smile was soft and true. I laughed softly, feeling the weight lift off both of us. Did she know how much that meant to me? Could we both be this happy? I asked, "Can I take you out tomorrow?" Her eyes lit up. She nodded so fast I thought she might trip. She said, "Yes, I'd love that." We set a time and place. She jotted it down on her phone, then showed me. I felt a thrill. She looked excited, like a kid on the first day of school. She laughed and said she couldn't wait. I smiled, feeling proud. We said goodnight, and she walked away, waving. Was this the start of something real? Could tomorrow change everything? That night, my phone buzzed. It was her. "Goodnight, smiling face with smiling eyes," she wrote. I stared at the screen and smiled. Then another message, "I can't wait for tomorrow." A heart emoji followed. It was simple but brave. She stayed up to send it. I felt warm inside. I texted back, "Sweet dreams." She replied with another heart. I put my phone down and thought of her smile. Did she think of me as much as I thought of her? Would tomorrow feel as special? The next day, she met me with my favorite snack in hand. "I remembered," she said, holding it out. My eyes widened. She grinned, proud. She said she wanted to make me happy. I thanked her and hugged her gently. She laughed and blushed. That gift was small but sweet. It showed she paid attention. We sat and shared on a park bench. She fed me a bite and smiled. I felt special. Did she always care so much? Was every little thing a sign she liked me? Over dinner, she looked at me and said, "I usually hide my feelings." Her voice was soft. "But with you, I feel safe." I felt my chest fill with joy. She took a deep breath and met my eyes. She seemed honest and open. I reached across the table and held her hand. She smiled and squeezed. I asked why she felt safe. She said I made her laugh and feel calm. I nodded, feeling the same way. Did we both feel the same spark? Could this be real love? After dinner, we walked under streetlights. I stopped and turned to her. I said, "I like you too." She looked surprised, then happy. She leaned in and kissed my cheek. "I'm glad," she whispered. She held my hand tight and looked up at me. We stood there quiet and close. The night was calm around us. I promised to be honest and kind. She smiled and leaned on my shoulder. I felt her breath on my neck. Could we keep this promise? Would we stay this close? We sat on a bench, side by side, watching the stars. I looked at her and asked, "Will you be my girlfriend?" She smiled wide and nodded. "Yes," she said. We held hands and watched the sky. The 5 secret signs had led us here. Now we know how we feel. What do you think happens next? Let me know your answer in the comment section. Like this video and also subscribe to this. Thank you.